From the heart of downtown Kokomo, I'm April Thatcher, and you are watching News Brief. Here are your local headlines. Kokomo Mayor Greg Goodnight will be a featured speaker at a community conversation on infrastructure and community development in Johnson County. The event, sponsored by Indiana Humanities, the Bowen Center for Public Affairs at Ball State University, Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, and Aspire Johnson County, will be held at the Southland Community Church in Greenwood, Indiana on Thursday, April 23rd. The forum is the first in a series of 4 community conversations. The topic will be how infrastructure and community development are critical elements for managing a city's growth. Mayor Goodnight will be joined by Sarah Rubin, INDOT Project Manager for I-69, and Larry DeBoer, a columnist and economist from Purdue University. The Indiana State Board of Animal Health is urging residents to vaccinate their dogs following at least a dozen confirmed cases of dog flu in the state. Spokesman Denise Derrer said there's not an official tally because veterinarians aren't required to report dog flu cases. But she says 12 cases have been voluntarily reported to the department, and most of them occurred in Northwest Indiana. The department recommends owners have their dogs vaccinated if the animal spends a lot of time around other dogs, especially if their pet is old, young, or immunocompromised. Dog flu symptoms are similar to those experienced by humans, including a runny nose, sneezing, coughing, and fever. Derrer says that the state is continuing to investigate the possibility that the dog flu has mutated. MKE Sports and Entertainment is excited to announce that the Kokomo Jackrabbits have partnered with the global leader in the beverage industry, Coca-Cola. Not only will Coca-Cola be the exclusive soft drink provider of Kokomo Municipal Stadium, every time a Jackrabbit player hits a home run, they will share a Coke with a fan and present them with a limited edition autographed Coca-Cola baseball that will earn them 1 free Coca-Cola at the concession stands. For a full season schedule, visit KokomoJackrabbits.com. One short mantra: do something, say yes, and be a difference, has supplied Kevin Sprinkle with all the motivation he needs to volunteer countless hours in our community. It is this difference that he has made that has earned him the Howard County Volunteer of the Year. Sprinkle was one of 15 individuals nominated for the annual award presented by the United Way Wednesday at Crossroads Community Church. His impact as a supporter of Bridges Outreach and Kokomo Awakening, and works as a mentor in the Kokomo community, have made Sprinkle a visible example of outreach. He was one of the first volunteers on the scene to help those in need after the November 2013 tornadoes that swept through Kokomo. Using social media to get the word out and spearhead volunteer efforts, he has traveled on many church mission trips and is now working with Bonavista and The Crossing. The Kokomo Parks and Recreation Department will host the 6th annual Tour de Kokomo bicycle ride through Kokomo beginning in Foster Park April 25th. The Tour de Kokomo will depart from Foster Park tennis courts at 11 a.m. This family-oriented escort tour will take riders on a 6-mile course along the city's bike paths and bike lanes. The tour will include a trip along the Industrial Heritage Trail and will pass by several public artworks and city attractions. The ride will include a restroom and water break at Kokomo's Highland Park. The event is free and open to the public. Children 12 and under must be accompanied by an adult, and all riders must wear a helmet. And now, it's time for Now You Know. Join us as we take a look at the history of Kokomo's schools. Our experiences in school help define who we are. Preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, college. We graduate from one to the next, climbing the ladder to adulthood. But for all that time spent in school, Have you ever stopped to consider just how many there are and how many have come and gone over the years? I'm standing here at Foster Park, and while it's hard to miss the tank, many might have missed this plaque. What is it? Well, it commemorates our first school. The first school was not held in its own building, but in a church. The first Methodist church in Kokomo was built in 1844 of rough logs and measured only 18 by 24 feet. It had puncheon slabs for seats and writing desks made of boards that rested on pins set in the walls. There was also a fireplace to heat the small building during the winter. The first sessions began in 1845, and the first teacher was Adam Clark. There were 16 students in that first class with a fee of $2 a pupil per term. A school term at the time lasted 13 weeks. Clark taught reading, writing, and arithmetic. He only taught for 2 years, but was succeeded by John Heaton, Reverend Denton Simpson, T.J. Harrison, Julia Barrett, and G.A. Gordon. T.J. Harrison would later become Howard County's highest-ranking military officer during the Civil War, a brigadier general. Julia Barrett was the first female teacher in the Kokomo schools. In 1853, a new school was built on Washington Street between Walnut and Sycamore. This was the first free school in Kokomo because of the new Indiana Constitution. The next school was taught in a church that stood on the north side of Mulberry Street, east of Main Street. Its use ended with the outbreak of the Civil War. In 1863, the Kokomo Normal School opened, and in 1869, Howard College was organized in the Normal building, having 6 teachers and 69 students. The city still had no high school at this point, so advanced students were sent to college, and their tuition was paid from school funds. The college closed its doors in 1872 after its president, Milton B. Hopkins, left to be state superintendent of public instruction. The first high school was established soon after. The old Normal School was purchased and used as the high school beginning in the fall of 1873. Enrollment in the first year totaled 101. 2 people graduated from the first class in 1875, Anna Steyer and John Plow. A new high school building was completed in March of 1898 on the southeast corner of Sycamore and Market Streets. The old Normal building was destroyed by fire on the Sunday after Thanksgiving in 1898. The high school survived until March 24, 1914, when it too was destroyed by fire. Thanks to the efforts of the school superintendent, C.V. Hayworth, and the school board, a new building was erected on Superior between Market and Apperson Streets and was opened for classes in 1915. A gymnasium named after Hayworth opened in 1925, but it fell to fire in 1944 and was replaced with Memorial Gym in 1949. Couts Field was presented to the school corporation in 1929 thanks to the generosity of A.J. Couts, who served for many years on the Board of Trustees. In the fall of 1968, enrollment at Kokomo schools peaked at 13,230 students, and a second high school was needed, so Hayworth High School was born. Having 2 different high schools in town caused a rivalry to form that lasted until 1984, when Hayworth and Kokomo were combined. Now the Hayworth building on Berkeley Road has been renovated and expanded into Kokomo High School and the adjoining Kokomo Area Career Center. The old high school building downtown now houses Central Middle International School. So, if you didn't know about our first school or the road from that to our current high school, now you know. And now for your 5-day forecast. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies with gusty winds, high around 60. Tuesday night, partially cloudy skies early, followed by increasing clouds with showers developing later in the night, low of 39. Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high of 54. Wednesday night, some clouds early will give way to generally clear conditions overnight, low near 35. Thursday, a mainly sunny sky with a high of 57. Thursday night, a mostly clear sky with a low of 36. Friday, generally sunny with a high of 57. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low of 36. Saturday, cloudy skies with a high of 57. Saturday night, a mostly clear sky with a low of 36. Thank you for watching News Brief. Tune in to Indiana Talks Radio for more local news on the hour at indianatalks.com. For KGOV2 and the City of Kokomo, I'm April Thatcher, hoping you have a wonderful week. And now for your community calendar.